Notes from the Upper West Side, a novel by Dan Wrench.
Chapter 98, The Parity Theory. So yesterday I had a session with Jessica, the regular session on my calendar, and Junior's cruelty dominated. While telling Jessica the telephone story, I realized how much Junior hates me. I mean, Junior really intensely hates me. She's getting back at me, right? I asked. That's what this is all about? She's looking for parity, right? Jessica just sat there doodling notes in this little 20th century-esque notepad. Can you give me a hand here? I was getting riled. I'm trying to understand human cruelty. I'm trying to understand how a woman who's been married to me for 10 years can suddenly turn so relentlessly evil. She looked up and said, well, some cruelty doesn't need to be expressed verbally, or we express it. You know, not so much as a big lump sum of cruelty, but instead as little cuts over time. Yeah. Death of 1,000 cuts, I said. Well, how's this? I gave her 1,000 cuts and kept my mouth shut. She smirked and laughed while she told me how much she craves the taste of Parp's microcock. That's the death of 1,000 cuts, plus getting your head pulled off so an elephant can crap down your neck. I was pacing. She'd given up asking me to sit back down ages ago. Now when I jump up and walk around, she just follows me with her eyes. I threw myself down on the divan against the wall. Usually she's sitting in a chair next to the divan, but today she was at her desk for some reason. And it's just fucking annoying that she calls anal sex cornholing. Like a damn redneck. Jessica didn't respond. I guess it was a stupid thing to care about, but come on. Cornholing? You know what I noticed for the first time? There are no pictures of the hubster on Jessica's desk or anyplace else in her office. Oh, fuck that guy. Maybe she killed him. Maybe she has a gun in the desk drawer and she's going to pull it out and take me hostage and detectives will swarm in and shoot it out with her. Maybe she'll crumble wordlessly to the floor by the office windows. I don't know what I'm saying. Christ, in a caravan, I could use an adventure right now. You have a good point, Paul, she said. But I think your first theory was a good one. Theory? The parity theory. I think that no matter how uneven the scales may be in your eyes, in her eyes, she's the injured party and she hurts. She still hurts. Or she's a sadist. Pause. I didn't expect that. The pause, I mean. It was a long pause. What do you mean in my eyes? I said. Are you telling me the scales are not uneven? No, she said. Like I said, you have a point. She made a little note. I don't know what she wrote, but still, I found it insulting. Let's go back to that sadist remark you made, she said. Why sadist? Isn't it obvious? Tell me it's obvious and that you know what I mean and you're just trying to make me talk it out. Come on. Well, what if she is a sadist? I said, a literal sadist. What if she gets pleasure, sexual pleasure, from seeing me in pain? Then that whole, in her eyes, she's the injured party remark would be USDA approved bullshit, wouldn't it? What if she and Pop are laughing about how she told me her ass is sore from getting it drilled? What if she wants to tie me up and force me to stick my tongue in her cunt? Is that what you want? What? Do you want Corinne to pin you down, bound, and force you to gratify her sexually? It's called a metaphor. Still. And just so you know, I don't want an elephant to take a crap down my neck either. She laughed. Ha, ha, ha. That was good because it was starting to get tense. I cackled my usual gig. Then I told her writing this damn book didn't seem to be kicking in as therapy unless therapy is supposed to turn me into a skin sack stuffed with my own chopped off balls. I told her I was up to the Fern on the Rampage episode after Cammy said, "Nice blowing you, Daddy," at the roundabout. I told her how I remembered lying there and realizing that Parp was the anti-me, and it's a good thing I was going for revenge or I wouldn't be getting anything at all out of writing this little adventure series. If it weren't for the revenge, I'd be depressed all the time. Reliving these memories is no afternoon at the ball game, Jessica. I'm serious. She asked me if thinking back on these events away from their actual occurrence was helping me to understand them better. I didn't want to say yes, but I guess it was. I mean, technically it's helping me, but is it really worth it? Am I learning anything I'd be just as well off not learning? The only thing that keeps me working on it is knowing Junior's friends are going to read the book one day and call her up to laugh and say,
"Oh my God, you sucked some four-toed sloth's cock for a whole summer? Ew! You are such a fucking whore."
and then they giggle and hang up. And it doesn't stop. Junior just keeps getting these calls and emails and texts, calling her a slut. Teach her to fuck with the cunt lord. Can I read the book? Jessica asked. Sure, soon as it's done, I said. She sniffed. She said, I was thinking more like a sneak peek. Do you think that would be okay? But it's not done. She just looked at me for a sec. Okay, she said. She smiled.
Notes from the Upper West Side is a work of fiction. The people depicted in this work do not exist.
Notes from the Upper West Side, copyright 2022 by Dan Reg.